me speaking about this prevents me from going back to Russia these days because I'm concerned that as big as my voice is, if I go over there, I could possibly get arrested.
Willie D Live.
What are your thoughts on what's going on in Ukraine?
I mean, I was born there.
Yeah. And did you leave when you were 5?
About 5, yeah.
Okay. So what are your thoughts about Ukraine? You have aren't your parents Ukrainian and Russian?
Well, at the time it was Russia. It was the USSR.
Okay.
Ukraine was part of that whole conglomerate.
Right.
You know, almost like the United States, right? Imagine if the United States financially fell apart and California became its own country and Texas became its own country
Right.
and so forth. That's basically what happened to Russia in the early 90s, I think, late 80s, early 90s, around that time, where a bunch of the countries broke apart and became independent. So at the time that I was born, I was Russian. I was part of the USSR in the state of Ukraine. But after everything fell apart, Ukraine became its own country. So you could say I'm Russian, you could say I'm Ukrainian. It's technically both true.
But there's a lot of Russians still living in Ukraine.
Well, like what is a Russian exactly? You see what I'm saying? Is it someone that went from Moscow to the Ukraine? Is it? It's a little fuzzy at this point because now they speak a different language. They speak Ukrainian, which is kind of like Russian, but kind of not.
I think if you're born there, if you were born in that region,
right?
Then
I mean, my parents were born in that region. I was born in that region.
What was the name of the region at the time?
It was Ukraine, which was part of Russia. Just like you could say you were born in Texas.
Yeah,
it was part of you were born in Texas, but it's part of the USA. So
right.
You're from Texas, but you're American.
Right.
So we were from Ukraine, but we were Russian.
Right.
That's how it worked.
Right.
Yeah. But in terms of what's happening now, I mean, it's messed up. It's messed up. It's, me speaking about this prevents me from going back to Russia these days because I'm concerned that as big as my voice is, if I go over there, I could possibly get arrested. You've seen situations like this, like Brittany Griner, who she had a vape pen and ended up in a prison. Yeah. There was a reporter who they said made some comments that was anti-Russian. There was some woman who donated to some Ukrainian fund that was put in jail because she donated like $5 to some Ukrainian charity. So. I remember I did an interview in Variety magazine where I spoke about it, and I have spoken about it multiple times. It makes me weary about going to Russia anytime soon, even though I've been there as a tourist, some years back. I don't think I would do it now because I'd be too worried about getting, locked up.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about people saying that coming on VladTV is a trap for criminals? Mm. Because people oftentimes, they tell on themselves when they come on VladTV. They talk about their past crimes, and sometimes that stuff is not, what do they call it? The statute of limitation is still open there,
Well, I'm careful when it comes to statute of limitations. You've never heard me talking about an open murder case, except for Keefe D. But Keefe D, before he came on VladTV, wrote a book about his open murder case.
Yeah.
So we spoke before the interview, and I said, "Are you willing to talk about what's in the book?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay. You have a book. It's on Amazon. It's not like some little private book. It's on Amazon." So in that case, and he felt like he had immunity because of the proffer agreement and so forth. So, essentially he came in confident that he could speak about it. So I took his word for it. But other than that, you really can't name anybody who has gone on Vlad TV and then that interview from Vlad TV has then put them in prison.